Hey everyone, appreciate you spending a little more time with Elevated Mind. Today we are going to be recapping The World According to Star Wars by Cass Sunstein. This typically isn't the book that I set aside, a week or two to read, but it is May. May the 4th be with you. I love Star Wars, and I saw this at the library, and I thought, hey, I can't pass this up. So, again, the purpose of these series is to help you understand what's in a book and give you maybe that little push to pick something up that maybe you wouldn't have read and really gain some things that can help you live a fuller, happier life. And with this book, for me, what this did is really give me a deeper understanding of the brand, give me a couple different ways to think about Star Wars. And I mean, anytime that you get to spend time with one of the things that you really, really enjoy, like I enjoy Star Wars, it's a lot of fun. So there's three big things that I took away from the book. The first was just the success. I mean, we all know it's a international brand, wildly popular, but it's always kind of been that way. That's what surprised me. This movie, the original, which we now call Star Wars 4: A New Hope, had people lines out the door around the theater all over the place. There was places in America where this movie ran for over a year nonstop. That's the type of demand there was, and the type of feedback that it got. Critical acclaim. There's a gentleman. His name is Joseph Gleemus. He was a Newsday reporter, and he said that it is one of the greatest adventure movies ever made. Star Wars is a masterpiece of entertainment. You might recognize the name Peter Jackson. He's responsible for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He said that going to Star Wars was one of the most exciting experiences of his entire life. So it's a big deal now. It's always been a big deal. This is a movie that has changed everything, both from the way movies are made and also the way that it affects and interacts with our culture. One of the really cool things that I like about the way Cass writes this book is he says, Star Wars isn't just a story. There's a lot of deeper meaning to this. And he'll go through, hey, this is what Star Wars means, and then 4 pages later, he'll bring up another point and argue why this point is what Star Wars means and what it's all about. So one of the takes that he looks into is Christianity. Obviously, Star Wars is a Christian tale, and he talks about Luke Skywalker being the redemptive son, being the one who, although he escaped death, took on the weight of the world and took on evil for the good of everyone. So it's obviously a Christian story. Or is it a different take on Christianity? Is it Anakin who is the savior? And where Jesus Christ is someone who lived a holy, perfect life, Anakin got as close to the dark side as you possibly can be, really understood the full weight of everything that was happening on the dark side of the Force, and waited to the very last moment before he stepped forward to redeem himself, as Christ did, giving his life for everyone. So some interesting things there, but again, the way Cass does this, but that's not really what Star Wars is. Maybe Star Wars is really a story of the Oedipus Jedi, and he talks about Anakin, being a bastard son of the Force, right? So never had a real dad, and the whole story is him just clinging on to the need of a father figure. He needs some sort of direction, and it doesn't matter where it comes from. So it starts with Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon dies. Then it's Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan didn't work out. He goes after Obi-Wan. Then it's the Emperor. Still can't decide, and he ends the Emperor too. So I thought that was an interesting take. The final piece is like, you know what? It's actually not about violence or anything. It's about Buddhism, and it's about being at peace. And a line that he highlights is when he talks about Yoda saying, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, suffering leads to the dark side of the Force, and parodying that with the way the Buddha taught, saying there's suffering, there are causes of suffering, and therefore there can be an end to suffering. The last kind of paradigm that Cass looks at is chaos versus order. Hey, maybe the Jedi aren't a good thing at all. All they want to do is create chaos. They want to make things harder. They're trying to upset the system. If you're not a Jedi, life is probably pretty good for everyone else under the Empire, and they create specific order. So maybe it's the Jedi who are actually the disruptors of the universe. So a couple of interesting things. Definitely would recommend it. It's a quick read. It's a lot of fun. I'll leave you with this. Obi-Wan saying, Master Yoda says I should be mindful of the future. And Qui-Gon responds, but not at the expense of the present. Go out, make it a great day, make these next couple hours before bed the best yet, and have fun with your reading, and read things that make you better.